What's going on, everybody? I am your man, Jamell Adams. Welcome to Sales in Action. Listen, today we are going to be talking about the four pillars of sales success, and I'm going to be your tier one operator. I'm going to walk you through the entire process. Let me explain something to you. If you are in sales, if you are thinking about getting into sales, you need these four pillars. These four pillars are going to be the foundation that you build your entire career on. If you can master these four things, I guarantee you, you will be successful at any sales position you ever take. Let's jump into it. Listen, do me a favor. If this is your first time on Sales in Action, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and most importantly, leave comments, get involved, right? Every time you smash that like button, the YouTube algorithm just puts this video out there for more people in the sales industry to watch, grow, and learn. So don't forget to do that. Listen, let's jump into it. Four pillars of sales success. The first pillar that I want you guys to master, the first pillar that you have to get. And listen, this one, if I'm being honest, most salespeople hate this one. Hate this one. But in my opinion, it is one of the strongest of the four pillars. Not the best. The best is the last one. So watch the video all the way to the end, and I guarantee you it's going to be worth the wait. So, the very first pillar that you have to master is the script. You have got to master the script. Let me tell you something. Sales scripts allow you to maintain consistency in the message. I don't get it. Salespeople would rather get on the phone and stumble through it. They'd rather get on the phone and ad lib. And listen, make no mistake about it, part of a sales call or a sales interview, you need to be able to ad lib. You have to be able to have that conversation. But the script allows for consistency within the message. So if you're a business owner, if you're putting together a team, what you want to do is you want to make sure that everyone is on a script. Why? So that you know what works. So the message is consistent. Consistency is important because it allows you to stay on point and it guarantees that you do not miss anything during the sales interview. You don't want to be in the middle of the conversation and you forget to dot that I or you forget to cross that T. You want to make sure that everything that you mean to cover is covered. And by having a script, it allows you to do that. See, the power of the script is there's no veering, there's no guesswork. With this script, you always know where to go to next. And I can't stress this enough. As a sales professional, you have to know where to go to next. The minute you start and umming, and the minute you start you lose that professionalism. You lose that, look where they're looking at you like, man, this person knows what they're talking about, or this person sounds like they know what they're talking about, right? You lose that the minute you do not know where to go to next. The script is so powerful. Now, during this video, I'm not going to go super deep into these four pillars. I'm going to give them to you, and I'm going to give you bits and pieces of them to help you out. Then in a later video, we're going to break these down individually. But one thing I will say about the script has to be broken down into sections. In a script, you want to have a greeting. In a script, every scene has to have an objective. What are you hoping to accomplish in this particular section of the script? What's the goal? What's the purpose of this particular section? And you cannot move from that section until you make sure you have covered every goal or objective to that part of the script. Once you've done that, then you move on to the next part. The script is amazing if you know how to use it correctly. That's why it's the first pillar in the four pillars of success in sales. You have to master the script. This is the last thing I'm going to say about the script. People get so worried when they go to a company or an organization and the script is so long. I used to be a general manager of a water treatment company where sales reps would go out and they would do in-home demonstrations of water softeners. The script had to be 15 pages long, 20 pages long. It was massive. People were so intimidated by these longer scripts. And the message that I would give them is this: the same thing I'm going to give you. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. When you have longer scripts, take your time. Take one part, master that. Then move on to the next, master that. Put those two together, then move on to the third. When you try to consume it all at one time, that's when you run into problems. Slow your roll, take your time, pace yourself, and it's all going to come together. That's the first pillar in the 4 pillars of success. The second pillar, this one is crucial, is you have to find the pain. Without being able to find the pain on every call, your success rate is going to plummet. It's going to shoot down because you failed to find the reason why your prospect was, one, on the phone in the first place, or two, came into your facility if your product or services isn't a brick and mortar, right? You have to find the pain. So for those that are new in pain, new in sales, let's break this down. What is a pain point? A pain point is the specific reason or the specific problem that your prospect is experiencing. Something has happened in their life. A specific problem has now occurred, and now this whole thing is blown up. You have to be able to find that pain point. So let me give you a couple different types of pain points. And I'm going to go to my notes on this one because I want to make sure we cover them all for you guys. There's financial pain points. Your prospects are spending too much money on their current provider, on their current solution, or on their current products and want to reduce their spend, their overall cost. So they have a financial pain point. Another pain point would be productivity pain points. Your prospects are wasting too much time using their current provider, their current solutions and products, and want to use their time more efficiently. So they have a productivity pain point that you need to address. You have to be able to pinpoint what your prospect's pain point is and then overcome it. And we're going to talk about that later on. There's also process pain points. Your prospect wants to improve internal processes, such as assigning leads or lead generation, right? And there's so many more pain points that you will only discover through what? Conversating, probing, questioning your prospect during the sales interview. That goes to my next point. How do you find the pain? You use consistent probing questions to uncover the pain. Let me explain something to you because I want to help you out. When you're using probing questions, you want to use open-ended questions. You want to use questions that make them have to answer more than yes or no during this part of the sales interview. I want them to start talking. Why? Because when prospects start talking, they will tell you everything you need to know to close the deal. Now, here's the problem with most salespeople. The problem with most salespeople is they listen with the intent to reply. While the prospect's talking, you're constantly in your head thinking about where you want to go to next, where you want to drive the bus to next, instead of listening with the intent to understand. See, if you listen with the intent to understand, your prospect will tell you everything you need to know to close the deal. But you have to listen intently and then take what they've given you and deliver it back to them. So, consistent probing questions to uncover the pain. You must be able to do this without upsetting the prospect. What do I mean by that? It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? You get more bees with honey. These may be cliches, baby, but they work. Be careful how you word things. Words have power, and we're going to be talking about that later on. You must have the ability to listen with the intent to understand. This is going to be critical in finding the pain. I call them open doors. You got to be able to walk through all the open doors that the prospect opens during the sales interview. That means sometimes you have to get off topic, meaning you're no longer talking about your service or your product, but you're talking about something personal to your prospect. By doing that, they're going to give you something that's going to help you get further into the sales call than you would if that did not happen. How do you use the pain? How do you use the pain? You use the pain points throughout the call to show the client, one, you were listening to them and know the main need they have. Let me show you how to do that. Let's say the pain point is your prospect is trying to buy a house, but they can't buy a house because their credit is messed up. And you're trying to sell them credit rehabilitation. Well, listen, Mr. Customer, what we need to do is first off, we need to get you into a position where you're able to go and get that house that you've been looking at and want so bad. And that's why you came in to talk to us today, isn't it? I always use a tie down because I tie their pain point in to that. So the most important thing is the pain. Hey, by signing up with us today, what we're going to do is we're going to move you into a position where you're able to go ahead and get financing for that house that you wanted to get for your wife. And that's the most important thing to you today, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Fantastic. You got to find the pain and then use it during the sales presentation. Here is the third pillar in the four pillars: product knowledge. You got to have product knowledge. If you don't know your own services and you don't understand how to pitch your services, then you got a problem. You got to have product knowledge. You have to have a full understanding of the features and benefits of the services and or products and be able to explain them over and over and over if necessary to your prospect. If you can't give a detailed description of every service that's listed in your catalog, a detailed description of every product you have on the shelves, then you need to go back to work before you get in front of a customer. Listen, product knowledge gives you courage. It gives you courage. One of the most common fears among salespeople is that the prospect will ask a question that you're not going to have the answer for. By learning everything you can possibly learn about your service or product, you minimize the risk of having that fear induced come upon you. Learn your services and your products and go out there and crush the game. Listen, product knowledge helps you respond to any objections properly, whether it's about price or the product or a comparison to a competitor. Knowing about your own products plus the competitions allows you to explain the value in your own product. Listen to me very carefully. Back in the day, it used to be always be closing, ABCs of sales. Today, it's always build value. You have to explain the value of your own products. And in order to do that, you have to have a full understanding of the services and the products that you're offering. You must be able to quickly ascertain which service is going to fit your prospect's needs. A lot of you guys are going into industries or already in an industry that has a catalog with hundreds of different services or products that may be available to your clients. You have to know which one of those fits their needs like that. And you have to be able to present it intelligently. You have to be able to present it emotionally with enthusiasm to get them excited about it. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is by knowing your product. Can't pass that over. Listen, the fourth pillar in sales success. This one is my favorite. This one is my absolute favorite, and it's critical to sales success. Critical. It's the sales pitch. It's pitching. It's voice inflection. It's how you sound when you're on the phone talking to your client. Do you sound like you're laying in the bed, sitting on a couch? Do you sound like you have a bunch of food in your mouth? It's critical because guess what? Your voice inflection comes through over the phone, right? Pitching is so important. Your sales pitch is key. You have to be comfortable when you're on the phone having a conversation with the prospect because it comes across. If you're dollar hungry, money hungry, it comes across. Your pitch is contagious. If you're excited, they're going to get excited. I remember I worked for a company years and years ago. And when I first saw it, I thought it was strange. In the men's restroom, on one of the bathroom stalls, they had this flyer up and it said this: answer the phone with a chuckle, the customer's defenses begin to buckle. And I'm like, what is this? But the more I thought about it, I'm like, wow, that's so incredible. That's part of my pitch. I answer the phone laughing or smiling. Why? Because immediately they're going to say, well, what are you laughing at? What's so funny? It's a hook to get me in deeper with that client on that initial phone call. Your pitch is everything. You have to be comfortable on that phone call. Your pitch comes either across as confident or not confident. You can't sound like you're reading. You have to know what you're talking about. Your pitch is you, it's the essence of you, and your pitch has to be on par. These are the four pillars of sales success. And I guarantee you, if you can master the script, if you can master finding the pain, if you can master product knowledge, and your pitch is bar none, tier one, you will be successful in any sales organization. You can take me at my word. This is your man, Jamell Adams, with Sales in Actions. Do me a favor, put these sales tips into action and watch how your money begins to rise and your stress begins to go down. If this video helped you, do me a favor, put it in the comments. Let me know which part helped you, which part you've been struggling with, and which part now you're going to excel in. Until next time, y'all have a good one.